Okay, welcome back after that recess, lady and gentlemen of the new nation. All right, so should America rekindle its relationship with Great Britain, or can we survive without trading with them? Mr. Franklin.
I think that we need to have a strong relationship with Britain because having good relations with foreign countries, such as countries in Europe, would, and especially them being bigger countries, if we ever got into a war, say, with like other places, they would be able to help us and we would benefit from the things they have.
Keep in mind the political climate at the time period, okay? So that's possible that might happen later, but just remember, you're basing this on the time period, okay? Mr. Madison, excuse me.
I disagree with Mr. Franklin. I believe that we should not get into a very strong relationship with Britain, but I think that we should keep up good trade with them because they supply a lot of our goods and we supply a lot of theirs.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Madison. Would anyone else like to respond to that specific question? John J.
I think we should have a strong relationship with Britain because like they helped us before, and then if we like enemy with them, they know our land, like they could take us over easily. And we're like a weak government and a country, so we don't have a lot of money and we have a lot of war debt. I mean, what if they come and take over us now? Like we can't do anything about it, so we should have good relationship with them because we'll have better trade and then protection, I can say, and then they're like and more advanced than us. They can like lead us, I guess.
So basically hang low for now until we become a stronger nation, so we kind of have to keep some of those ties. Okay. One second, Madison. You don't need to be that close, I'm going to put you on camera later if you continue to do that. Alright, where's Madison? Hold on a second. Where's the Robin? Were you? Oh, you were. Okay. Alright. We're going to now talk a little bit about some rebellions in the United States, in the early United States. The Whiskey Rebellion. People believe that the Whiskey Rebellion was started because of the same tyrannical taxation that caused the Revolutionary War was being pushed on the backwoods people of the West, which hurt them economically, was unfair and unjust. By putting down the rebellion with troops, isn't that just like what Britain was doing to America before the Revolutionary War? Or were the people affected by the tax being unreasonable? Mr. Hamilton.
Well, I think that problem of the Whiskey Rebellion, like we shouldn't have that tax on the whiskey because like we had taxes on tea and sugar and all that other stuff. And then as soon as we got rid of those taxes, we were like relieved, but now we got another tax on whiskey, and that's like bringing all that stuff back to what we were trying to get away from.
I will correct you later on the history, but are you the one that created the excise tax for that alcohol?
Well,
You also fought to quell the rebellion.
Yeah. If you didn't, yeah, okay. So yeah, based on the fact that you did, do that, isn't important. Is the federal government's responsibility to put down rebellion? Or do you think that's more of a state issue?
yeah, I think it is a state issue because if you bring the federal government involved, that could like possibly like start a war.
A war amongst ourselves? Or
Possibly.
okay. Would anyone else like to respond to how Mr. Jefferson?
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with Mr. Hamilton
Yes.
because they resorted to like the military too much and
Who's it?
the
Federal?
yeah
Oh.
and I believe that rebellion is good, a little bit of rebellion is good sometimes, just to like
once in a while to kind of, why is it good?
So like it wouldn't start like a big war.
But it kind of tests the water.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Madison.
I'm gonna add on what she said about the little rebellion is good, because if we didn't have rebellions for a very long time, it would, all the tension and like sort of anger would build up, and then it would more likely cause a war than if it was just little bits of rebellion here and there to let them get it all out.
So, it's okay once in a while to have small rebellions as long as they don't go too long so that they become a large one and therefore cause issues around the whole country?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Hamilton.
Well, I think that rebellion like opened our eyes and let us know what we need to do better. So like by them rebellion on that whiskey tax, they let us know that they don't want taxes on everything, like even though they have to.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamilton. All right, we're going to go to the next question. Keep in mind that we have a couple minutes left and there's still some of you that haven't spoken. Okay, there have been questions on whether the rights of women should be put in the Constitution. Do you think that the time has come for women to have the same rights as men of this great nation? Abigail Adams, you once wrote to your husband John to remember the ladies while creating the laws of this young country. Do you have anything to say about that? And then after you speak, would anyone else like to tackle that question?
In my opinion, women's rights are very important. They should have the same equal rights as their husbands or as men. They should particularly get in the field of education and be educated, and they should have more property rights than husbands. I mean, not more property rights than husbands, but equal rights.
Would anyone else like to talk about women getting liberal or power in the government? No? Thought that would be a doozy. Okay. Next question. Is slavery a necessary evil? Abigail Adams.
I think slavery is a threat to the American Democrats, and it should definitely be repealed. Slavery should not be happening, and I agree with my husband on that.
Thank you, Adam. I can ask some future further questions, I suppose, unless anyone would like to respond just to that question. Would you like further questioning to Ms. Madison? Mr. Madison, excuse me?
I agree that with Ms. Adams that slavery is wrong, morally so, but if we got rid of slavery, then our economy would fall drastically because the South relied on the slaves to produce their products.
Thank you. Anyone else before I go on? All right, we're gonna, Mr. Washington.
I believe slavery is bad and we shouldn't have it.
I would like to maybe point out that you have slaves, and if you didn't like it, you might not have any. Therefore, you might want to answer a different question. Mr. Monroe.
I don't like slavery. I don't have any slaves. And, if we didn't have slaves, then our people could have jobs, like jobs and they could pay, and it's still very jobs.
But isn't, I mean, slavery is great in a way because it's free labor. That makes the economy better because we make more money as a country, right?
Yeah, but our nation, we're growing. We need jobs.
But wouldn't free labor be better than paying people? Okay, let me throw in another question. All right, in the Declaration of Independence it states that all men are created equal. With this being said, in your opinion, was the Constitution created flexible, to be a flexible document, so that it could change over time with the political and cultural climate of the time, or should it be strictly interpreted in all aspects of the government? well, this is a question to anybody.
Oh, okay.
So if Mr. Monroe would like to respond, he could. Would anyone else like to respond to that question? Mr. Washington?
I believe the Constitution is flexible.
And what does that mean?
That
Okay, Mr. Hamilton? Thank you, Mr. Washington.
I don't think the Constitution, like, gives all men the same rights because some African slaves don't have the same rights as whites in our country. Like, whites can own land and slaves, and Africans can't own land. So, like, in a way, it's not equal. I think, like, we should come to an agreement on our rules or amendments and all that.
Mr. J?
The Constitution should not be strict because,
Go ahead.
okay, because, like, if one party, like, okay, say now it's federalist, but the people doesn't like federalist, so it's so strict. If Republican come, they won't be able to change the rules, which will make the public stay mad as before. So you will, like, create more tension between the parties, but it's not doing anything because we're not allowed to change the Constitution. So we should be the same as before. Yeah.
So you're saying it should be flexible or it should be strict?
It should be.
Flexible. Okay. Anyone else want to take a stab at that one? Go ahead. I need to get him in here if he's going to respond. Are you going to respond? Because otherwise, the bell's going to ring like in 2 minutes. So, do you want to respond to anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think the Constitution should be flexible because the Constitution, like, it doesn't like there are some things in the Constitution that like aren't that gives the government the power to to make new laws out of it for the good of the people, like getting more land for the U.S. And land purchasing.
Can you give me an example of that land that you're talking about? Louisiana Purchase? Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to wrap it up today. Thank you, invited guests, for coming today and offering your opinions on all these matters that are so important to our new nation. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.